It was almost 4 years ago, I found myself in a group meditation. This was new to me. I wasn't really a meditation guy at the time. To my surprise, I was completely immersed in this experience, totally under. It was part of a men's group to find the best version of ourselves. And wouldn't you know it, when I came face to face with my best self, it was much better looking. He did have brighter eyes and clearer skin. He was in slightly better shape and just looked younger. So here I am in this sleepy trance, standing across from this improved version of me, when I hear the moderator quietly pipe in and say, "If your best self could share one thing with you, what would it be?" Imagine my excitement. What truth is he going to tell me? He put his hand on my shoulder, looked me in the eye and said, "You'll never be me until you quit drinking alcohol." What? That's not what I expected to hear. I mean, I was always a drinker. And to be fair, it was during the pandemic, and like many people, my drinking had accelerated to an all-time high. But quit? Never in my life did I have anyone suggest that I should. I didn't hit rock bottom, make any life-altering mistakes, far from it. From the outside looking in, I was rolling. Career, family, physically active. Seemingly had it all together. However, as I allowed this epiphany to wash over me, I realized that I knew. I knew, and I had known for a long time, that alcohol was getting the best of me. And like many people, I was in this self-imposed prison, and I had this secret that I didn't want to share with anyone, including myself, apparently. You see, the problem is, when thinking about quitting alcohol, it can be daunting. And I'm not even speaking of the physical act of stopping, which can be extremely difficult. I'm referring to our society. The first time you go out and say, "I don't want to drink," you get the old, "Come on, what do you mean? You're not drinking tonight? Hey, everybody, Steve's not drinking tonight." That's how we treat people that want to take a break. Or at least that's how it feels. The whole ordeal is incredibly tough. I was so worried. What am I going to tell people? How am I going to tell them? Here's the big one. What are they going to think? Am I going to lose my friends? I didn't, by the way, not a single one. However, the idea of sharing this with my community, it terrified me. That's how strong the stigma can be. It actually took me a couple of years before I took my final steps to being alcohol-free. I joined a 90-day alcohol-free challenge with education and a community, and it changed my life. It was during this challenge that I realized not only is it okay to say no to alcohol, it can be kind of badass. You see, the problem is that alcohol becomes a habit attached to so many of our daily activities, and I know many of you can relate to this. I mean, how many people grab some beers when sitting down to watch football or sports, or automatically take some wine to take to book club, or order a drink with every meal off that special cocktail menu? Maybe you pack a Yeti or even a cooler to take to your kids' ball games. Boy, I had a bad day, I deserve a drink. I had a good day, I deserve a drink. It's the weekends, it's time to drink. It's involved in so many of our work activities. It could just be everywhere we turn. It's so challenging that it's there everywhere. We don't intentionally build these rituals. You know, when we're 25, we don't say, "By the time I'm 45, I'm going to make sure that alcohol is a part of my daily life for this guy." That's not what we're doing, right? But it's a habit, and it grows over time like most habits. But this one's drastically different because alcohol is an extremely addictive substance. In its simplest terms, alcohol releases dopamine, which is the happy chemical. It goes into our reward system of our brain, and it makes us want more. And the more we drink, the more we want, and the more we drink, and the cycle begins. It's also modeled for us by our families at a young age. It is glamorized, socialized, normalized, and celebrated. It's just out there. We put it on a pedestal with pin lighting around it. The next time you're in a nice bar, restaurant, or even grocery store, notice the almost cinematic display of bottles. So, despite our love for this and the societal blessing, the CDC reminds us that excessive drinking is the leading cause of deaths in the United States today, with 178,000 casualties annually. To put that in perspective for you, that is more deaths than are caused by all illegal drugs. Oh, and prescription drugs combined. The World Health Association shares with us that alcohol-related deaths are now up to 2.6 million a year. So that's all the bad news. We can all just relax, take a breath. The good news is a lot of people want to take a break, just like I did. A Lending Tree study shares that 37% of Americans hope to drink less this year. And that's why I believe the Dry January Challenge is becoming so popular. 41% of Americans hope to do Dry January this year. This is according to a civic science study. 41%, but only 16% succeeded. When I saw these statistics, it hit me. Maybe there's a way to help others on this journey to make it easier for them than it was for me. And that's when we brought a new initiative to our workplace. That's when we launched the Workplace Alcohol-Free Challenge. And the initial results were incredible. 26% of my firm, or 400 colleagues, chose to do Dry January together. 13%, or 200 colleagues, abstained for the entire 90 days of the challenge. With Dry January being so socially acceptable, it was the perfect time to run a challenge like this. Now, building it, there was a lot of components to it. But the first key was we created a safe space where our colleagues could explore their relationship with alcohol in a judgment-free zone. We didn't use any language to make people feel ashamed, and we never told anyone that they shouldn't drink. Instead, we had weekly online meetings where we explored the benefits of taking an extended break. Our human resources team did an incredible job of creating a points-based system that rewarded employees for taking the challenge and for joining the calls. We made it fun. We had interactive check-ins, weekly topics, motivational quotes, and expert speakers that joined us. Now, the experts, they shared a little bit of the bad news. They shared that alcohol can be addictive, that it contains ethanol, that it can cause cancer, heart, and liver disease, that it can lead to anxiety and depression. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun to you guys? Believe me, it was. Through the vulnerability of our colleagues and those that shared their stories, it gave my company a chance to bond. And we really did have fun together. So what we learned was that if you give people a judgment-free zone, appropriate education, and a community, those three things, many will choose a different path. From the surveys and the comments were phenomenal. 92% of those colleagues said that they felt they would drink less moving forward. Common themes were better sleep, increased energy, more productive workouts, and weight loss. Many reported that they were more engaged at home and at work, making them more productive employees. Some were motivated by being parents. My children are proud of me, one mother shared. For me personally, if I don't accomplish another thing in my life, but to break the addiction cycle that has been in my family for generations, I will be fulfilled. What could be more important than that? I'm thrilled to share with you that from this singular challenge, dozens of my colleagues have chosen to live an alcohol-free life. And one shared that due to this challenge and his choice to live alcohol-free, he was able to save his marriage. So whether you're a corporate leader or an individual, I have a call to action for you. If you're in a position to influence your workplace culture, if you have the power to make change happen, propose and initiate a Dry January challenge. Call your HR team and make it happen. Can you imagine if hundreds, if not thousands of companies held an annual alcohol-free challenge? Can you imagine the ripple effect this would have and the number of people and families that this would help? I'm happy to report there are multiple companies lining up to run a challenge this year. We are onto something and we're on our way. Now, if you're an individual and you're wondering what life would be like without alcohol, if this talk resonated with you, if alcohol is becoming a habit, if you Googled TED Talks about alcohol, you found me. I'm here. But I'm here to simply encourage you to take an extended break. I'm not telling you need to quit. However, don't go it alone. Join a 30 or a 90-day challenge. The magic is in the community and the education. The alcohol-free movement is upon us, and there are many of these challenges available. There are new, non-traditional programs, apps, books, online communities for you to choose from. Once you do one of these challenges, you become enlightened and you see things differently. You see alcohol for what it is. And once you see it, you simply can't unsee it. When you do this, you open your mind to a new way of living. You realize it's okay to say no to alcohol for one night, for 1 month, for 90 days, or forever. It's okay not to spend your days in want of that first drink. It's okay not to spend your mornings regretting the last. It's okay to want more out of life. Nietzsche said that life is not a dress rehearsal. Life is not a dress rehearsal. So why not aspire to live the very best version of it? Thank you.